Is this game easy to get into, or is it a case of if you haven't been here since the beginning, you have no chance? So their economy rework actually made it significantly easier to get into and target some specific cards, which is nice. And one of the things, like, if you were to ask me, Jeff, what's the appeal of playing Marvel Snap compared to other modern digital card games, I would tell you that one of the big upsides of Snap is the fact that their game balance is on point, and you can play with mostly older cards or small subsets of specific cards. They stay competitive. There's very, very little power creep in this game. It's basically non-existent. And from a game rules perspective, it's very easy to pick up to start. Usually there's 3 locations, and whoever has the most points in 2 out of 3 of them wins the game at the end. However, what the locations do flip up at random on turns 1, 2, and 3. And this is a super rare one. Doesn't happen a lot. This one destroys the other 2 when it flips up, which is funny. Yeah, they're onboarding at the start. At the start is very good also. I agree with that. Okay, so the plan here then is I'm gonna go Fire Hair into Venom here. And we'll get to gobble these up. And Fire Hair, even though she's gonna get destroyed by Venom, these will get blown up first, so we'll get their effect. This game is more free to play than most other card games. I agree with that. But I've found most people hate the economies at most of the games that they play, but Snap is genuinely one of the better ones. So the really functional basics of its deal is every card has an energy cost and a power they add to the location you play them at. And then you get 1 energy per turn over 6 turns. And then, obviously, the depth and complexity is from the rules text on the card. So, like, for example, Venom's a 3/5 right now, and when he flips up, he destroys everything else at his location and absorbs their power, basically. So he's gonna gobble all of these up, and this will be 12, 13. He's gonna be an 18 power Venom, and I'll have 3 spots left over here. Yeah, games like Magic the Gathering are impossible to come back to if you're not spending a bunch of dollars. And then my biggest numbers here are 6, 6, 4, and we hope that that's enough. Vote for Pedro, yep. Could get shanked. The Rocket Raccoon is also quite big. We could see like Rocket Sage plus something else. Yeah, so Rocket Raccoon gets them up to 21. Hit Monkey. Merlin. Close! Real close game. My Mysterio reveals himself. Surprise! The real Mysterio is in the middle. Wonder where the real one is. Is that Pedro Richards or Reed Pascal asking the real questions? If you do decide to poke and snap, I actually did an updated starter guide for 2025 earlier this year. It'll give you a rundown of how the economy works and some small things to min-max that'll give you kind of a template of early decks to build towards and things to look for upgrades. One of the really stellar onboarding things Snap does is it breaks up their early cards into what they call series of cards, and the video explains this, but I can give you the bite size too cool now. Where basically they guarantee that you get specific cards to start your collection that will allow you to be competitive as you play the game and your collection grows into a wider range of things. Snap does a pretty good job from their designs of you're gonna get more different things to play as your collection grows, as opposed to things that are strictly stronger. I'd probably stay free to play in Snap because I spent way more than I like in Pocket. Yeah, I say this as someone who has spent 4 figures in more games than I can count on one hand. I think Pokemon Pocket is the only game I've ever spent money in like that I regret it. my tolerance for what I'll regret from spending is pretty high, but Pocket is like, it's so pure unadulterated gambling. Has Pocket gone out? Pocket's gameplay is fine. I still really enjoy Pocket's gameplay. It's just wholly and fully the case that Pocket's spending is pure loot boxes. It's loot boxes with actual 0 guardrails. Doing some Fire Lord stuff here. Wonder if we'll see them Venom these. Ooh, so this is fun. So I was going to Absorbing Man copy Gwenpool, but 3 energy Misery. So Misery doesn't actually have to destroy the card to repeat their on reveals. So I could go Surge into Misery here, and we'll copy both of these, and they'll all live, which is great. So I'll get to make the top card of my deck cost 2 less and get 2 power, and then Gwenpool will give 3 random things in my hand plus 2. And then our last turn, honestly, Mysterio continuing to dodge here is good for us. I would like to play Mr. Sinister plus Absorbing Man plus whatever's on the top of my deck here. So if Mysterio continued to dodge, yeah, this is ideal. I don't actually have anything destroyed because of Wakanda here, so Phoenix Force isn't doing anything, but we might still play our center. So Mr. Sinister creates a copy of himself when he comes out, and then Absorbing Man will copy him and make a copy of himself. So this is going to be 16 over here. We'll add 24 over here up to 27, and then Phoenix Force can add a Scotch in the center. All right, cool. We actually went all 3 here. Love it. Love it when a plan comes together. Oh, sweet. Oh, did they misorder? Their Kid Omega tried to trigger her at Sage, yeah? We still would have won, though, right? They would have been plus 3 here. Airwalker would have only added 3. They would have had a Phoenix over here, but Phoenix wouldn't have impacted this one. I only ever spend money on Snap with the Season Pass. And that's another thing Snap does really well, is I think Pocket is literally the only game I've ever played where I've skipped buying their monthly Season Pass while I'm playing it, just because it really doesn't add a lot of value. Whereas, like, Snap's Season Pass is the best for your buck resources by a lot, and it's super, super worth it. It's absolutely the first thing you should spend money on. But the Pocket Season Pass regularly feels like I'd rather just buy gold and buy booster packs. What about the Shadowverse Pass? The Shadowverse Pass is fine. It's not as good as Snaps, but it's gives you meaningful stuff. Yeah, Pocket Season Pass doesn't give you anything exclusive other than cosmetics, which have mixed subjectivity around them, obviously. And then the way Pocket's economy is structured, packs have diminishing returns the further into the season you get. So, like, the later packs in the season are worth less than the earlier packs. Any input on the best way to put money into Once Upon a Galaxy? Their pass is also reasonable. And then the pass followed by their premium captains would be the order to go over there for sure. Yeah, Galaxy's super fun. It's genuinely one of the best bite-sized strategy games. I'm really excited to be partnered with them. We're going to be doing stuff for them on the regular for a little bit for sure. Okay, so this is interesting. Initially, I was gonna go Gwenpool into Venom here. However, Phoenix Force reanimates at random. So I think I'm actually gonna go Gwenpool here into Venom here, Phoenix Force the Gwenpool back. Which means I don't get the bonuses from Venom getting big here, but I really like the idea of getting double Gwenpool. I don't know that we're going to be able to keep up from a good draw from the opponent's deck here. We'll see. But we have a plan here at least. And Absorbing Man's a good draw. It means that we'll have two things in hand that are both excellent Gwenpool targets. You could just be lucky and hit the 1 and 3 on Gwenpool anyways. That's true. That is a line. Alright, so they have 3 Dakin shards. So both of their Dakins... Both of their Dakins are... My opponent retreated! Weird. They must not have MODOK, right? Yeah, they overclocked their hand with all the generation, and they didn't have Bullseye out. It's funny. All right, well, the answer to can we keep up with them is obviously yes if they can't bend their things. Very nice, very nice. Clear some of our missions. Alright, how high can we go, Misery Handbuff? How high can we go? Want to prioritize playing Zabu first before we draw more 4 energy cards. This makes our 4 energy cards in our deck cheaper. They get a copy of Gwenpool here. Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's a rude nerd. So Chavez gives the top card of our deck +3 power now. So many powers. We're just gonna supercharge the top here, yeah? So we'll give it +3. And I'll give it +5 from Krakoa. I'll take a fire here, please. Phoenix Force. I'm not really gonna have a good window to use that, am I? I guess I can Venom this and then Phoenix Force it back next turn. I have to choose between the Phoenix Force and the Gwenpool. I don't have any great targets for Gwenpool in my hand, which means there are good targets for the Chavez in my deck. Surge Red Skull. Oh, are they a Nightmare deck? They must be a Nightmare deck, yeah. So Phoenix Force is going to reanimate the Absorbing Man, which gives us an 18 power thing that can move around. And it gives the top card of my deck +3. And then Surge will give the top card of my deck +3. That is a big old Starbrand from the Krakoa buff. Probably abandoning the left. Let's do our best corporate Democrat impersonation and abandon the left, huh? So I could slide Absorbing Man over to the right, and then I think they probably contest the center. This will give us 31 here. Misery's gonna kill Surge, but she's still +13. This will be 20 total in the center. They played for the right. Oh, right, their Red Skull makes us bigger there. Nice. We good? Looks like we're good. What happens if you Misery a Venom? He'll eat Misery and then die. It's not a good scene. Like, nothing pleasant. No, they took away Venom's text. They did. They did, in fact, take away Venom's text. Always Zabubi first. Always Zabubi first. Eat Misery and then die the American way. It's true. Get Surge down. There's a 4-drop on top of our deck. It'll cost 2 here. Hopefully there's a Misery on top of our deck. And then we go like Chavez into Misery here. Actually, probably go Chavez Fire here and then Misery the last turn. Although I suppose Misery onto Quantum Realm's not super exciting because it shrinks her. I mean, I'm definitely staying gamer. Got me. What do we think of copying Surge? I think I'm into it. I think I'm into it, yeah. If there's a 4-drop on top of our deck, it currently costs 1. It has +5 power. Whoo, doggy. I don't even know if I'm supposed to play this, though. If I play it, it makes my next card really cheap. Yeah, the double surge buff is really appealing. Yeah, Mysterio doesn't pass on the surge buff, and I kind of don't want to fill my lanes anyways, yeah. The way he's templated. No, it actually doesn't matter here, because I don't want to play him out either way. Peekin, thank you for the almost 5.5 years. Welcome back. Appreciate that. That was a Gambited Starbrand. Cute. This seems fine for us. Their deck has a real hard time competing in Quantum Realm unless they nightmared into something ongoing. You won't need this anymore. And they played one thing in the center, which means Titania ends up on my side. So we'll win left and center here. Real Slim Shady, please stand up. No problems here. The data looking healthy after the OTA. So I want to make it clear that Snap from a pure data perspective has really looked consistently healthy for a long time. Like when you look up the public tracker, even in the sweatiest bands, like it's very rare to see a deck that has, you know, more than 5 to 10% play rate, if that. The OTA does look like it was successful in that it tapped down Cannonball Juggernaut nonsense, though. I think it likely has a positive, fun impact on the outcome of the game. The average games. The Wiccan Cannonball Fenris Wolf pile of cards was not nearly as dominating as it had been by the new Mars. Imagine playing a game for fun, chat, like some kind of filthy casual. What's an OTA? OTA stands for over-the-air update. It is the shorthand jargon that Second Dinner uses to communicate their balance updates. They happen twice a month. Every 2 weeks. OTA, Shadowverse be like, WTF is that mood? Mood. No 4-drops left in my deck for a zombie, but some good hits for Chavez here. I'm Gwen pooling and then waiting to see what we draw. If we do this, could be fine. I could have also been right to Phoenix Force first. This is a swing and a miss, unfortunately. Oh, Mr. Fantastic rolling cost reduction instead of plus power on every one of his hits is pretty unfortunate. I have an Iron Man they haven't played out yet as well here. I think we're cooked. I don't think this matchup's likely winnable if they have it all serviceable hands.
I am Iron Man.
Oh, I'm gonna lose the breaker. I can't believe this was this close. If Pedro would have given us one fucking +2 in any of those games, any of those turns, if we'd have gotten a singular +2, or shoot, if what's her name, if this hit either, so we needed Pedro to hit either +2 on here, or for Phoenix Force to hit either of the other two cards. Chavez is 2 more over here, and Gwenpool's infinite more over here, plus more points in the hand. Mobius is to turn off enemy Mobius. That's not how Mobius works. Mobius on both sides of the board means all of your cards are their original costs when they were added to your deck. There's just no reductions for anyone. All right, well, I think I can firmly stamp exceeds expectations on this deck so far. So I want to play a little bit more with it. We've definitely been winning more than we've lost. It's fun to play with America Chavez again after her recent buff. We take a brief pause for the cause to let some adverts roll. Appreciate everybody hanging out today. Don't go anywhere, gamers. We're gonna be doing plenty of snapping this afternoon. Watching on the YouTube right now, make sure you tap the like button. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps the content reach some more people. You know, you don't constrain yourself to a set schedule for buy lists, but I'm wondering what you thought about when you decide to make one. Data, fields, number of new cards. I don't understand what you're asking. What do you mean by buy list, Pekin? Percival, thank you for the 25 months. Welcome back. You mean like cards to buy in stat? Tier list? What's the... card reviews. I just try to do it every couple of months usually. We just did an updated series 451. I think it's been like 2 months since we did it. Usually I try and land them in or around the OTAs at least a little bit. Oh, you mean the end of season card review? Yeah, we could do one of those again, maybe. I don't know. I guess I wasn't planning to do that this month. Maybe not this month actually, because we just did the updated everything list, right? Which kind of covered all the cards from this month, I think. I guess specifically Cosmic Ghost Rider wasn't in there, but the rest of them were. Yeah, probably not this month, thinking about the tabbing and things. I don't know. I don't really min-max the YouTube content too much. None of YouTube doesn't really promote any of my content. I don't do enough of the cheesy clickbaity bullshit to engage too many people on that platform. A lot of the stuff for YouTube these days, I just like sneak into the live stream stuff and get a twofer. The only reason I don't do more is like I don't want to work too much in the evenings if I can avoid it. Like the deck highlights cut, they probably take me less than 10 minutes per video, or right thereabouts to cut and format real quick. Brave Shriner, thank you for the entire year of support. Let's get you a mod sword to go at that sub shield. Appreciate you dropping off. Bezos money again. We're playing Falcon on Curve. Speaking of next season, we should get the new season announcement video today, yeah? That typically goes up. Viv, what's her name? I think is the card next month. That was actually part of the reason why originally I was gonna do Snap first thing this morning and do Pocket second, but I wanted to be live with Snap while the season announcement video went up, so we can watch it together. The Phoenix Force has been real clunky in this deck. What else could I play in the Phoenix Force slot, gamers? I've been pretty whelmed by it. It's not fit well into any of our curves. And like here I feel obligated to play it just for stats, but it's like not very good. Galacta, Elixir. I don't hate Elixir. Elixir is more efficient and honestly has more control over your outcomes. Our opponent has walked on Sunshine, or Air, depending on who you ask. I assume we're cooked here. Scarlet Spider. Maybe. Captain Marvel actually is probably the answer. I like having another 4 there for the Zabu stuff, but I really want it to be a 4 I can play on the last turn of the game. Nah, Captain Marvel's a card that's always felt good in these scores. Let's do her. Opponent unfortunately did not play for the lane I put my biggest stats in. I have 14 energy here, so I assume we're cooked. Ooh, or did they play for it? Was Venom in the middle? Oh yeah, GG opponent. Yeah, let's sub Phoenix Force for Captain Marvel. There's something meaningful to do at the end of the game. Although I guess she's kind of clunky with these clones. Is it Scarlet Spider? I just don't love that Scarlet Spider has to play on 5. That might be the answer. Scarlet Spider is the more meme card, which I typically lean towards playing. Yeah, it's just like you could never play like all 3 of these in the same game as the problem, right? Because like one goes on almost ever. Because like one goes on 3, or one goes on 4, one goes on 5, and then like this one you can play on 6 at least. It's probably just this. She'd be a little clunky with Mysterio and the other things that fill the board up though. Scarlet Spider's my favorite bad card. It is pretty popular. Is Pedro better than a guaranteed from Nakia? You know, that's a good question. We probably would have won one of the games we lost earlier. We actually talked about a game earlier where Pedro just hit cost reduction every turn. If he would have given us a single buff, we'd have easily won. And Nakia into Absorbing Man is also a pretty reasonable curve as well. How the mighty have fallen. I don't think I'm gonna have another opportunity to really play this card out. That'll stop the Red Hulk from growing. It'll contest the, what's it called here? Mysterio will eat the Vormir penalty here, and then Gwenpool will come down. think we lose to Red Hulk, right?
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, that one too. Unfortunate. If I would have put the real Mysterio on the left, we could have won that location with Mr. Fantastic. Yes, I honestly really like the idea of Nikki over Mr. Fantastic. Also sounds great. Oh, he'd have grown on turn 6 so the Mysterio wouldn't have been revealed. Oh, that's a good show. Forgot that's how that interaction would have worked, so we would have lost. Either way. Either way. Let's get Nikki in here. The free credits are missing on the web shop. Someone get Broad on the phone right now. I would like to speak to a manager. This is unacceptable. She's not gonna stay here for long anyways. We'll do this. Uncle Ben and Kid Omega. Our opponent's got cooking up. Well, that's, I was going to say maybe let's Venom here, but Misery sounds better, yeah. Wait, do they just... How does that work? Does the Venom blow up and then add to nothing? Are they just stacking points for a null? They must be, yeah. Wait, Kid Omega gains the points while he's destroyed? That's so fucking weird. But but Nico can't double in my hand. That's so messed up. Oh, I guess playing Venom in the middle is bad because Uncle Ben might be jumping something out of here. This is the same amount of points, so. Looking like we're cooked. Alright, I got one more loss to do with this pile of cards. This is unfortunately going the way most hand buff decks have gone. I'm just like, I feels like this archetype is so close. Like, I don't know what it needs from a consistency standpoint, but it has like a handful of games here and there, but by and large things just don't come together frequently enough. We're missing Toxie, something like that. Man, it really grinds my gears how complicit so much of the media is in all of the awful that Donald Trump does. But there's a story someone linked, and this is, I'm gonna use a direct quote from the news place's framing of this. The Donald Trump administration is gonna be using, and I quote, a legally untested maneuver to slash spending without congressional approval. Legally untested. Gosh, if only there was a cleaner way to say that. So it's illegal then. That's just saying illegal with more steps. Legally untested is such a neat way to say crime. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Officer No Gun, extra legal. Thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back.
Minions to me. I'm coming for you.
There's a chance we might be outmatched here, Chip. So this is 16, and then this is 10. It's also 16, so 32. And unfortunately, we're down by 45. A few fun games in there. I just don't think any variation of this is gonna end up doing anything too complicated. Whether you're doing fire hair misery stuff or just doing pure hand buff stuff without the destroy sub package, it's just your numbers just aren't big enough consistently enough, and there's just too many moving parts, it feels like, for it to all come together too frequently. Sedge.